Well, we're currently an hour behind schedule, but we got the sleds loaded up and we're going for our first trip of the year. As you can see, we have no snow here, but this is actually our first road trip in the Grand Cherokee as well. So we're quite excited to get onto the road in our first road trip in the Grand Cherokee with the snowmobiles in back. And we're off and running. Woohoo! We have reset the trip odometer, and we're gonna see what we get driving up to Ironwood, Michigan, and driving back with the snowmobiles on back. You're looking at about 1,100, well, probably 1,200 pounds, 1,300 pounds with fuel plus the trailer. So maybe 2,000 pounds total in the back. And then of course we've got all our gear and stuff in the Grand Cherokee. So we'll see. Not an overly huge load by any means, but just enough here to give it a test and see what we're gonna get for range. Right now, as we just reset it, it's gonna be about 12, and that's gonna be about what I think we are going to get during this trip. But enjoy the rest of the footage here. We have made it to Hayward, and actually we're not doing that bad. We're averaging 12.6 miles to the gallon, which is better than what the truck would have done, if not right around the same. And we're trucking right along here. The trailer is pulling really well. Pretty impressed with that, with the two ski-doos on the back here. We're a little under halfway to our destination. We're right about halfway. We should arrive at 8 o'clock. We're listening to the awesome Baltimore Ravens game. I'm rooting for Baltimore because I want the Chiefs to play the Steelers instead of Baltimore in the second round, if that is at all possible. That's my wish. But anyway, I'm really looking forward here to getting on the trails and seeing what they're like. I think they're going to be fan-freaking-tastic, but I'm very impressed right now with this 2016 SRT Night Edition. As you can see, look at how low the miles are, 5,600. Probably one of the lowest examples in the United States of America. And I'm impressed. I am impressed. We have hit the snow belt in Wisconsin. We're in Montreal, coming into Hurley right now, and you can just see how much snow they've got. And this is about 2 hours away from the house, which is crazy how much snow the lake effect really puts on these people up here. This is like what our area looks like after our whole winter, if we're lucky. So it just goes to show you how much lake effect snow they get. And we're not even to our destination yet, but the snow looks nice, and it's had some time to kind of compress a little bit here, and hopefully have a good base for the trails. Now, I think the people who are making these Polaris Ride Command trail reports here this is a really bumpy road. Whoa. I think the people who are making these Polaris Ride Command posts don't know what normal snow for us normal folks are here in northern Wisconsin, although we're not in the most northern part where we're located at. But this is quite amazing how much snow they have here. This is actually, it's Christmas Day right now as we're doing our little snowmobile trip here. And it's the earliest I think I've snowmobiled, except for my first season of riding, actually. So this is kind of a treat here, honestly, for me. But every little town we went through, basically from Mellon on to Hurley here, there's got to be more and more and more snow, which is awesome. So I'm curious to see what Ironwood is going to look like here in just a few more minutes with the lake effect. Well, we made it to Lake of the Clouds, and this time, in our third visit to Lake of the Clouds together, third or fourth, I can't remember. It's winter time, in the dead of winter, the day after Christmas, and there is a ton of snow here. This is the last day before some rain hits, and the trails have been good so far. Whew, it took a little while to get here, though. A little over, about 75 miles of riding. Now I'll have to do 75 back, so it's been a nice trip though so far. Very pretty. We're getting married. You saw it first. We made it to Bonanza Falls now on snowmobile. It looks a lot different than in the summer. Wow. Hey everyone, we've completed our snowmobile journey here and we're just driving back in the Grand Cherokee. It was also our first road trip in the Grand Cherokee SRT, which actually I'm very impressed with. This is a tow pig. It can eat away miles very easy, and I'm getting about 13 miles to the gallon here. I'll do another quick check. Yeah, 12.7. So not bad. I mean, my average speed hasn't been a ton because, you know, we're going from northern Wisconsin to the upper peninsula of Michigan, so you can imagine the drive. There's only one interstate that we go on, and that's 53, US 53. And that's only for about 35 miles, or 45 miles, so it's not a ton of driving on that. So a lot of it is slower roads, back roads like what we're on right now here, and it's towing this 2,000 pounds worth of snowmobiles and trailer effortlessly, really, as it should, because it's got over 500 horsepower, over 500 torque. But it's very comfortable, even in tow haul mode, when the suspension stiffens up. And that's one thing I have to say I love about towing with the Grand Cherokee. With the SRT or even the Durango RT Tow and Go, is that the adaptive suspension smooths out the ride so much, and it almost acts as a self-leveling air suspension, but it doesn't in the fact that you don't have to worry about air suspension giving up or, you know, just failing one day because of the cold. So the adaptive Bilstein dampeners on here really do a great job at balancing out the load. Paired that with the way-safe towing system that I have, it really works perfect. This vehicle has been great for our first road trip so far. The only thing I would change are the tires. These still have the stock Pirelli tires on them. They're not great for traction or for ride comfort, but overall these sofa seats make up for that twofold, honestly, in my opinion. And the Grand Cherokee, it just handles so good. We're on a super back road here in northern Wisconsin, and the Grand Cherokee just handles so good. It's so flat in the corners when you're driving, even with a trailer on, and that goes for a bigger load too. I've towed 6,000 pounds with this effortlessly on back roads, and it's so flat around corners, especially in tow haul mode, that it does a great job. And as far as the riding went today, it was interesting to see the trails degrade as the day went on. It's 32 right now. It was 37 when we got done. This morning the conditions were great, but now they've degraded to a point where we're glad we are done. But it's amazing, even driving home here just south of Mellon, how little snow is left even compared to yesterday. So I think when we get home, there's not going to be much snow left at all. But the trip was fun. The Jeep has been great. Again, I'm very impressed. I would be lucky to get this MPG with my Ram truck, and I'm dealing with a much more fun vehicle to drive. I put all of my stuff in the back. Now, the one issue you do have if you have kids or anything along, you're going to have to pack a lot better than what we did. I think with the back seats up, we could have got all our snowmobiling stuff back there, but it would have been really, really, really tight. So with the back seats down, you could probably see that we have all our stuff just everywhere in the back, which is okay. And that's what the truck is made for. So I have to say that's been a positive, which has been able to allow us to store our stuff actually in the cab of the vehicle instead of the bed of the truck, where it could get dirty or wet or whatever. good with the bed space. So just stuff to keep in mind. But for a snowmobile trip here for us, this vehicle has been perfect. You know, you could always get something bigger if you needed something bigger, but for 2 people, this has worked out great. And again, we're taking some corners here, and the vehicle is just so flat around the corners. The brakes are great because, of course, a little snowmobile trailer is not going to have trailer brakes, so these huge dinner plate Brembos that we have on right now are phenomenal. I mean, this really is an underrated towing vehicle, and it was when it came out too. Grand Cherokees in general are underrated tow vehicles. All of the fame kind of goes to the Durango, but when properly equipped, the Grand Cherokee can tow almost as much, and it tows just as well as the Durango that I also tow with, that can tow up to 8,700 pounds. So you do lose 1,500 pounds of towing with the Grand Cherokee because of the shorter wheelbase. But overall, I mean, it's been lights out. This has been great. So with that being said here, I guess that's all I have left in this video. I appreciate you watching. Like and subscribe, and we will see you in the next one.